Get out the way. Who got a watch? Who got the time? I'm raising the clock. Even in my feelings, grind don't stop. Got big dreams, want bigger rocks. I got plans, you got talk. Heard it's real cheap, but it's really gon' cost. I'm tryna get these ends, building empires with my friends. I'm about handling my business. No time for stress over bullshit. You think success is an option?
Let me sip some water first. So let's get into some things. So I have not posted a video in a while. Let's start off by saying that. Okay, like probably 2 or 3 weeks now. Have not posted a video. This YouTube stuff is harder than what it looks like. You know, like you have to really come up with ideas and contents to push. And I just feel like the direction of my channel, the way that has not been, the way that honestly, hot mess. You know, I'm just gonna start off by saying like, I feel like I have not been my authentic self. And that's just me being real. I'm really trying to do like this travel vacation thing, but my pockets is not set up for that. I got other things to worry about other than trying to travel the world, even though I'm doing it, but not like a YouTuber, if you get what I'm saying. I'm just gonna stay true to myself and be authentic. We're gonna get straight into it. Why did I leave America? A lot of my haters say I left America because I couldn't make it. And realistically, I couldn't make it in America. I know I'm just gonna let you know right now. I've been through a lot at a very young age into my adulthood. I could not make it financially. I could not make it physically, mentally, or emotionally. And the little support that I have, it got me through, but I needed way more than just a place to stay for a day or two, or a week, or a month, you know, depending on where I'm at and who I'm staying with. I needed more than just, you know, some chump change just to make it through, you know. I could not make it in America, and I was dealing with that ever since I've been a kid. So after going through
emotional, damn it,
trials and tribulation, you get fed up getting kicked out your family house multiple times if it's in the middle of the winter. Mind you, people had their reasons, but still doesn't change the fact that it affected me, and I'm pretty sure it affected them, but I feel like I'm more affected. Anywho, doesn't change the fact that I went through that trauma. Yeah, being kicked out to multiple jobs, being mistreated on jobs, fake friends, you know, family issues, keeping up with society, the pressures of society and everything. I just couldn't balance none of those things. My final straw was when I went back to Minnesota. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. If you don't know, now you do. When I went back to Minnesota, and I was at my mom's house for like a week. No, I don't even think it was a week. Probably like 3 or 4 days. 2 at max. I got kicked out the house. And it was over a stupid argument. I started it, you know. And I probably finished it. We talked about it in the evening. It carried on to the next morning. I overheard her saying something to her sister on the phone while I was asleep. I got up. My mom was like, Justin, it's time for you to go. Just like that, it's time for me to go. But one thing led to another. So that was just that. I kicked out, some things got destroyed. It was what it was. And then having horrible relationships with your family members on both ends, you know. I stayed at my grandmother's apartment that now my auntie and uncle takes over before she passed away. Rest in peace, I love you. But she passed away. And I got to really see people's true colors when I went over there to live. And I stayed there for probably a month. I voluntarily left. I left, it got toxic. Not with my auntie so much. I mean, you know, I have some feelings towards her about personal things that she did with my, you know, grandma's belongings. But other than that, nothing like too, like, nothing, not compared to the shit that me and my uncle been going through. But it really got magnified when my grandmother passed away, right? So I found out, which I already knew, but this person did not like me for multiple reasons. One of them is because I am my father's child. Anybody that knows my father, they know. And there's a lot of things I do that remind people of my father, so I get it. Not the most likable person at times. So I left voluntarily because I got sick and tired of doing that. I was at a shelter, stayed there for like probably two months or so. Got kicked out of there, stayed in a hotel, went through a program at YouthLink. They helped me get my first apartment. I got me a job working at Amazon. So I had my apartment. And I was living there, you know, things was cool. I had my furniture, you know, my apartment got furnished through a program, had a job, and things like, these are things I was able to obtain, you know, from being homeless from 16 to 25. My biggest problem was I wasn't able to keep these things. I would get them, then I would lose them, right? Oh, I had me a car at the time too. Bought me a new truck. 2003, something was a GMC SUV type of truck, little cute thing. So, yeah, I was just living in my apartment, and at the time I was living in the hood. I was in the hood.
In the ghetto. Ra-ta-ta-ta. Ra-ta-ta-ta.
I was in an area that used to be like all hippie and gay and like not suburban, but it was city life, but like hippie, gay, white folks and old people, artistic people, right? Stephen Square's community. And then COVID and George Floyd happened, and that place became the hood very quickly. It went from being gay, hippie, to drinking E40s, with Miss Round and smoking blunts on the block while people selling drugs and people and females, you know, prostituting. So that was my life, but it was my apartment. I was known on the block, the gay boy who got the 3.5s, you know, cordial with most people. You know, I just came here for business. That's it, that's all. So that was my vibe. Long story short, I got beat up. I got beat up by 6 men and pistol whipped. And that's just really my story.
My life I had to fight.
And that was my final straw because I could have died that day. And I'm not saying that I did not deserve that beating. I really did not deserve that. Who deserves to, you know, almost die? But we're talking from urban perspective, streets perspective, I deserve that, right? In my community, anybody I told that story, they're like, yeah, you deserve that. But realistically, I didn't. I didn't. Who deserves to get beat up by 6 men and pistol whipped? Explain that logic. Because if you're saying I deserve that, then you're justifying me possibly dying, because that's what could have happened. So it's the mindset of America that I'm not really rocking with. My mindset is different from a lot of people's. The agendas that's going on in America